Hi, in this video we're going to learn how to solve these kind of equations. This equation is called a linear equation. In fact, at first, let's take a look at this situation. 3 apples cost $6. Can you say how much does 1 apple cost? Congratulations! You've just solved your first linear equation. In fact, each apple costs $2. Okay. In the language of math, if we let x represent the price of 1 apple, the previous situation can be written as 3x is 6. So this equation has one unknown, which is x. And solving it gives x is 2, which means each apple costs $2. So, in fact, the question is, what is the linear equation? A linear equation, in fact, is an equation with one unknown and no powers higher than 1. For example, these are some examples. 3x is 6, x plus 2 is 7, or 5x plus 6 is 2x minus 3. All of them are linear equations. So here we're going to learn the rules of working with equations and then solve several examples together. So the first rule is adding or subtracting. In fact, you can add or subtract the same number on both sides of an equation. For example, if we have x plus 3 is 7, we can subtract 3 from both sides and we will get x is 4. And there you go, this is the answer of the equation. Okay, so the shortcut for convenience can be something like this. If you move anything to the other side, you can change its sign. For example, let's take a look at the previous equation. X plus 3 is 7. If you move 3 to the other side, it will change its sign to minus 3 and it gives us x is 4. As you can see, the same result is concluded. So, what is the second rule? The second rule is about multiplying or dividing. You can multiply or divide both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number. For example, 3x is 6. You can divide both sides by 3 and we will get x is 2. This is the answer of the equation. Okay, so the shortcut for convenience is this. Divide the constant by the coefficient of x. What does that mean? For example, the previous equation is this. 3x is 6. The 3 is called the coefficient of x and 6 is called the constant. So if you divide the constant by the coefficient of x, the answer will be concluded. Okay. So the summary of all rules is this. Always do the same thing to both sides. And that's it. So, in fact, you have to think of an equation like a balance scale. To keep it balanced, whatever you do to the one side, you have to do to the other. Okay. Let's solve some examples. The first example is this. X minus 4 is 5. As you can see, this is a simple example. If you bring minus 4 to the right-hand side, it will change its sign, so x will be 5 plus 4, which is 9. This is the answer of the equation. What do you think of this? What do we have to do to solve this? In my point of view, we have to multiply both sides by 2. Why? Because we have to get rid of this 2 in the denominator. So if we multiply both sides by 2, the result will be x is 7. And that's it. What about this one? Oh, in this situation, we have 2 steps to go. At first, we have to bring 3 to the right-hand side. So 4x will be minus 3 minus 13 minus 3, which is minus 16. And if we divide both sides by 4, it will give us minus 4, which is the answer of the equation. What about this one? As you can see, in this equation, we have x on both sides and constants also are on both sides. So at first, we have to gather the x's to one side and gather the constants to the other side, and afterwards solve the equation. For example, here we have to bring 2x to the left-hand side, which gives us 5x minus 2x will be. So it's time for bringing 6 to the other side. So it will give us minus 3 minus 6. Now we have 3x is minus 9. And if we divide both sides by 3, we'll get to x is minus 3. Let's take a look at the solution. So what do you think of this? What do we have to do to solve this one? As you can see, first we want to get rid of this 4. So at first it's better to multiply both sides by 4. So as you may remember from the algebraic equations and expressions, we have to multiply 4 by each terms. Okay, x over 4 times 4 gives us x, plus 3 times 4, 12, is equal to 4x minus 12. So if we bring x to the other hand side, it will give us 3x is equal to this minus 12 coming to the left hand side will give us 24. Therefore, dividing both sides by 3, x will be 8. And that's it. What about this one? As you can see, here we have 2 denominators. If we multiply both sides by 2, this 3 will remain. If we multiply both sides by 3, the 2 will remain. So what do we have to do? We have to multiply both sides by 6. In fact, 6 is the multiplication of 2 and 3. But to be precise, it is the least common denominator, or the least common multiplier of the 2 and 3. So, in fact, 6 times x over 3 will give us 2x. 2 times 6 will be 12. This 2 will be cancelled out with 6, and 3 will remain. 3 times x plus 1. So here we have 3x plus 3. Here is 2x plus 12. If we bring this 2x to the right-hand side, it will be 3x minus 2x. And this 3 to the left-hand side will be 12 minus 3. And finally, x will be 9. Let's take a look at the solution. And finally, the equation that we have talked about. So, what do you think? What do we have to do to get rid of the denominators? In my point of view, we have to multiply both sides by the least common multiplier of the denominators, which is 12. So, if we multiply both sides by 12, it will give us 4 times x minus 1 minus 2 minus 5x, because the denominator with 12 will be cancelled out. And the right hand side will be 4 will be cancelled with 12 and 3 remains. And 3 times 5x plus 2 is on the right hand side. Okay, now 4x minus 4 minus 2 plus 5x will be 15x plus 6. We have 3 x's. Let's gather them together to the right hand side, which gives us 15x minus 5x minus 4x. And on the left hand side, minus 4 minus 2 will be minus 6. And 6 to the left hand side will be minus 6. Right hand side is 6 x's, which equals to minus 12. And if we divide both sides by 6, x will be minus 2. Let's take a look at the solution. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned how to solve a linear equation.